Hello. Yeah, this live webinar I actually messed up a bit, so apologize for that. But I record it again, so I can highlight book contents a little bit better, probably. So I'm going to introduce this book that we wrote. Appreciate the first of all everyone who attends the webinar. There was it was first time for me to running the webinar myself, and I didn't know my camera was actually blocking the screen. So anyway, here in this recording we're going to go through the book again, and then we can find out a little bit more detail together. So if you click on this link below of my description box in this video, there is a you can find out the here the blog link and also bookstore, and here we have virtual reality tour. I recommend you to click on virtual reality tour. It leads to our preview, the preview of the book. So basically this book is written by M2A architects and Point-on Studio together. We documented our daily life workflow together, and we thought that maybe it's really good company standard for us. And last 12 years we use Revit, and okay, maybe it's good to also share this knowledge and package it as a book, so the others also maybe share better idea to us, or we could discuss further. But anyhow, the author, we have 3 authors. So my name is Jung-Woo Park, myself. I'm the principal of Point-on Studio, and there's Hyung-Wook Kim and Young-Geun Kim. They are licensed architects in Korea, and they have M2A architects workshop, the company. So in this virtual reality tour, basically you can go through like, we don't display of course whole book pages, but you can see the contents. For example, if you click on here the book look inside icon, then it leads to actual book page that you can zoom in to read a bit before buying a book, and you can zoom out. And here when you click on this information icon, then you can click to see the specific YouTube video to demonstrate, which explaining more detail about that book contents. So you can, for instance, here is about structural analytical model of Revit, and you can close. And when you want to go back, you can go back to click on this hotspot, then it leads back to this gallery space where you can go on other pages, and of course you can click on that, and you can see more detail about the book contents. And here we also have sort of e-learning page. When you click on this quiz, this question icon, then this page is about the quiz, and the quiz you can activate by clicking on this start quiz button. Then here you can see first quiz, click on the elements which must be modeled with the world tool. So if you correct it, then it's +1 point. If you have wrong answer, then you get -2 points. So the quiz is actually started. So we can go, for example, to me that's the world tool. This is world tool. That's actually structural beam, but I'll just click on to get the minus points. World tool is world. So we can go through this every hotspot. So if you think that's you finish the quiz, then you can see the result, and you can see how many items you found. So there's 84 wall components, and you have 8 wall corrected it, and sorry, the score is 8. So if I give, for example, long elements select, then you get the minus points. So your result will be different. So you got the minus from 8 points. Anyway, this is just for fun, and you can also download your result as a CSV file, or you can repeat the test again. And this is best when you use if you use mobile device. It's best to see in landscape format, and the rendered image resolution is quite high. So depending on your internet connection, you may have to wait a bit to see the best resolution of the contents. Alright, so that's about the virtual reality tour. And if you click on book insight from this tour, you can kind of preview all the pages of the book. Just notice that these pages are not exactly same as our book, because it's online contents. Our paper book has a little bit different contents, and but you can understand basically how the book going to be look like before you purchasing it. And you have here about us. You can contact contact us because we want to run specific workshop based on this book. So if you're company based and your organization wants to have a workshop with us, then you can click on reserve the workshop in to our blog page. We will have more like sort of detailed explanation about the Revit module we share here, and also all the detailed questions and answers through the workshop. Alright, let's go to Revit module. We have architectural Revit module and structural Revit module, and let's go first of all architectural module. And when you open the book, it shows here the organization page. Just make sure you have to load open all the workshop, otherwise you may don't see some of the elements. So just make sure click on your work set and open all the work sets so you can find out all the elements. Yeah. And when you double click on each category, for instance, here is architectural finishes. We have here detail item, which is parameterized based on the layers of the floor. And for example, you can increase the thermal layer, bottom thermal layer 180. Then as you can see, this floor type legend is also updates. And I'm just gonna go back to 120 millimeter, then it goes back. And this text is just Revit standard text. Obviously you can also use special text, like you can make this text as a family, and then you can parameterize this text input so you can actualize it, but we just want to avoid overcomplicated explanation, so we left it as a Revit standard text in this case. You can close the view and you can double click on each category, which shows the view in our book. So you can also click on the model to understand what's going on in the more detail in the book contents. And this view is locked, so if you unlock the view, then you can orbit this view, and when you want to go back to same as view from the book, then you can restore your orientation and lock the view again, then it's locked. Or otherwise you can also go to 3D view to understand which part of detail we demonstrate in our book. So in this architectural model, you can click here on the scope box. You can click on drop down menu to see, okay, that's the part, for example, second part, column to beam connection. Or I can go to, let's say, I'm more interested in, let's say, stair. Then here you can see the stair contents, for instance. And of course, this method we are introducing here is based on our practice. There might be better workflow. For instance, this precast concrete stair we modeled with the in-place extrusion model, because we found that if we introduce a simple solution, the colleagues understands better. but obviously you have also another solutions, many different solutions. You could maybe build up the whole stair with as a family. For instance, we have also introduced in this book. So when you click on this in this book, or in the book, that if you scan QR code, it leads to this YouTube channel which demonstrates more detail about each content. So I think please don't skip the QR code from the book, because it has really good information, which difficult to just explain in the text format. So each
In this example, we'll show
yes,
you
right.
how
So
to
in each QR code, you will find more details. All right. So from the organization page, you can always double click on to see this sort of the Revit elements, and you can click on the edit family to see how family built. Just everything is like very much like a pure Revit stuff, without any complex. And for instance, if you click the wall, and you can see here how the layer is composite, and the material is right now is written in Korean, but if you go identity and data, okay, sorry, for example, this material is not really translated in English, but most of standard material, for example, here damp proofing layer has this material property for you. And I know maybe it's difficult to understand from Korean language, but concrete, and if I click on it, and when you go to here structural material, for instance, and on the identity you'll find out the class name of the name of the material. All right, so you can go click double click on each view to find out more detail. And I think it helps you to understand our book contents a bit better, because without model maybe it's difficult to capture understand or follow whole book contents. And that's the reason why we're offering the workshop if it's required. So um, please let us know, or send us simply email, then we can organize the workshop. The To download Revit module, you have to buy a book, of course. And once you buy a book, you can send me email. In the book, you will get the private email address, and we will send you the download code. So from this blog page, you can write the code, the download code from us, and you can download the model from this page. We have here architectural model and structural model. The structural model, if you look at structural model, it's same exactly same organization from architectural model. So if you double click, it shows just the structural model. And in 3D view, if you go on the project browser, when you go analytical model, then you can find out the analytical model of Revit, and you can see how we organize the structural model to be calculated. So that's about it. And the structural model is linked in architectural model with the shared coordinates. So when you go here, let's disable the scope box from 3D view, so we can go to entire we can go scope box overall, then you can see the entire building. And when you highlight your work set, and if you see the work set color, then we know that the concrete structure is number 4. And here you can, for instance, you can hide it from the view from your visibility graphic display settings. And on the work set, you can, for example, you can hide your concrete structure, then the concrete structure is disappeared. but the idea is your structural model is also linked into Revit model, so you get a better model comparison between architectural model and structural model. Let me just go to reload the structural model, and you'll find out the structural model. Linked civil model, linked structural model. So I'll enable the structural model, which is linked, show concrete structure linked structural model. Yeah, it should be visible. Then you can see the linked structural model and architectural model together. Alright, I think that's about it. And in this book, in this model, we don't show exact architectural planning or structural planning. So it's more rather than planning, we just demonstrating how you build up the model in more efficient way. So probably yeah, I think it helps your daily practice. And if you have any question, please feel free to leave the comments on our YouTube comment. And I really hope that you enjoy the book and appreciate attending today's webinar. And good luck. I think that's about it. And again, sorry about the actual webinar that I a little bit messed up with the sound system and the video camera, but I just recorded again for you to see the recorded version. There was not any questions from the webinar, so I think that's it for today, and have a nice weekend. Thank you very much. Bye bye.